So in this video, I'm going to show you some basic things that I've learned from my awesome mentor and coach, Jess Ramos, in setting up your day, right? Getting ready to trade the next day. Now today is Tuesday, and for getting ready to trade into Wednesday, some of the things I want to do. And primarily what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this on Sunday. So let's just pretend this is Sunday, right? Sunday evening, you can do the Sunday evening, Monday morning. Probably best to do it Sunday evening, right before the market opens. The market opens at 5 p.m. Central Time, I believe it is, somewhere around that time anyway. And before the market opens on Sunday evening, if you're trading Forex pairs, if you're trading ETFs, or stock options, of course, the market doesn't open until the following day at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central Standard Time. So the first thing that I like to do is I want to go in and set up my session breaks. So I want to turn on my session breaks, right? And again, I'm talking about Forex pairs here, you guys. If you know how to do this for stock options, just ignore what I'm doing. I'm setting this up for Forex. So first thing I want to do is turn on my session break so I can see my day. So you can see this is Monday, this is Tuesday. So Tuesday's day is just about over. It's going to be over here in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I want to mark my previous day high, which is because remember, I'm setting this up. We'll pretend this is Sunday, right? So this is actually Friday over here. This is Sunday. So what I want to do is I want to set up my previous daily high, right? Here, I'm going to set up my previous daily high because I'm rolling into Monday. I'm also going to set up my previous daily low, which is going to be right here. And I want to label these, right? So I'm going to label these. I'm going to come down here. I have them saved. So previous daily low, previous daily low. Want to set a previous daily high. And sometimes some of these things will end up being the same thing. So I got my previous daily high, previous daily low. This might end up also being my all-time high. We'll find out here in a minute. So once I do that, now I do this a little bit backwards. I'm going to jump up to my weekly, right? I want to take a look at my weekly and I want to take a look at my previous week. What was my previous week? What was the date for my previous week? If I need to check that out and come down, and my previous week was uh, February 1st through the 7th. So that's going to be this candle right here, but we'll just pretend this is the previous week, right? So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to set up my previous weekly high and my previous weekly low. I probably should have showed you guys this on Sunday so it makes sense, right? So I'm setting up my previous weekly high, my previous weekly low. It's just the previous weekly high, nothing super. Did I just choose low or high there? We'll see. Yep, I put on the wrong one. So let's do previous weekly low. How about that, Forrest? Yeah, I'm talking and can't pay attention to what I'm doing. Previous weekly low. There we go. PWL. And then I want to do my previous weekly high. Previous weekly high. Right here. All right. So I got my previous weekly high, my previous weekly low. I set up my previous daily high, previous daily low, right? So once I've done that, then I can come back down. I've got weekly highs. I want to set up to close my candle. I close my candle like this. This is the close of the weekly candle, the close of the weekly candle. I just mark it like this, and I call this FK money level, right? It's just a level. I'm doing this, and it'll come back to make sense to you when you start to begin to trade. So I've got weekly low, weekly high, daily highs and daily lows in here. Then I want to come back down to my daily, right? In my daily, the most important thing you need to remember is where is price at right now? I learned this from Jess. Where's price at right now? And where could it possibly go? Right? So right now it's sitting on a weekly high. We got a previous daily high up here. We got a previous daily low down here. Let's check all-time highs. So this previous daily high is also an all-time high. So let's go ahead and do that. ATH. How about ATH? All-time high. All right. So let's go back to my 15-minute. So on my 15-minute, I'm going to look for areas where price could possibly go from where price is at right now, right? And when I say right now, I'm talking about right when I'm getting ready to trade. So whatever time that is, what time am I getting ready to trade? Because setting this up right now isn't going to be doing any good for tomorrow. So when tomorrow morning rolls around 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or whatever time you're getting ready to trade, you want to look at where's price at right now and where could it possibly go? What's my market structure? In this area here on this 15-minute, you can see there's a lot of sideways consolidation. So I might do some fun stuff like just do me what I call a little consolidation sort of breakout box thing, and this just helps my eyes. let me know there's some consolidation right there, right? I might want to even put a little note on this that says 15-minute consolidation, right? Right, got a 15-minute consolidation box right here. I'm looking at this. What is going to be my entry plan? My process is where am I going to get out at, or I'm sorry, where am I going to enter? Where would my entry be? Now, previous daily high isn't too far away. Previous daily low isn't too far away. So I'm gonna look at that. I might want to even jump up to my hourly candles just to look and see what kind of market structure I've got. You can see right here, there's some serious market structure, there's some serious support going on right here to previous weekly high. There's a lot of support, right? That might be a really good area to think about. If price bounces off of this and takes off, would I get in? Or maybe it breaks and closes and does a retest and heads down in here, or I wait for it to come under the previous daily low and get in and run it down and figure out where I'm going to get out down here. So I need to know this, right? I can look at my hourly stuff to see where price might be going to based on my hourly candles, right? I'm not going to talk about fair value gaps today because there's a huge fair value gap right here, huge fair value gap right here. There's a huge fair value gap right here. There'll be another training, right? So in looking at this and looking at where is price at right now, and when I say right now, I'm talking about when you are sitting in front of your computer and you're ready to trade and you've got your previous daily high marked up, you've got your previous daily low marked up, you've got your previous weekly high, previous weekly low, you've got all that marked up, and you're going to look at your levels and our market structure. Where could price possibly go to from where it's at right now? Well, it could pop up and come up to these equal highs right here, right? It could do that. It could just bounce and bounce and then turn around and come up. So you could get in like right at these candles here. You could get in and take it up here, right? I like to get confirmation on multiple time frames. So one of my favorite entries is breaking above a previous daily high, or previous daily low, or previous weekly high, or previous weekly low. Now, in this scenario, since there's so much stuff so close together, even if price breaks under this previous weekly high, I might want to wait for it to break my close of my candle and my previous daily low and not get in until it's somewhere down here where it does a nice break and close and I get a confirmation of a 3-minute candle closing below here, a 5-minute candle closing below here, and a 15-minute candle closing below here. And then I want to double check on the hour time frame to see if my hourly closed below that. If my hour is showing me a wick, these 3 candles might turn around and come back this direction. I'm just saying, right? So you've got to check that. Confirm with your hour. If your hour is also closed, so you got an hour, a 15-minute, a 5, and a 3, and they've all closed below here, I'm entering. Now the next question is, where is Forrest getting out, right? And that's where I need to probably go up to a little bit higher time frame and say, okay, if I'm getting in under here, my next logical get out point is these equal lows. I don't need to go all down in this business. This is where I'm getting out. I'm going to try to make my money in this area right here, from this area to this area. Now that's 5017 to 49,912. So just about 100 pips, just a little over 100 pips in this move, right? So at 0.01 is $100. At two, anyway, there's about a little over 100 pips here. If for some reason price decides it wants to come down and do a fair value gap fill down here, there's a nice big humongous fair value gap right there. It's like big ginormous fair value gap. This wick actually closed this fair value gap here. I don't see any. There's a small fair value gap in this, and this is again, this is on the hourly, right? So we've got a huge hourly fair value gap. We might want to go down to the 15-minute to see what those candles look like. But again, if price then breaks under this area, I'm going to wait for it to clear this wick before I do anything. So I wanted to share that with you. That's how I do business and getting into trades. Now, if it's going in this direction where it's going to previous daily high, I'm going to do a discovery zone area. I'm going to turn on my pivots. I'm going to turn on my pivots. And I'm going to look at pivots. So where's my pivot? So I'm going to wait for the same thing, 3-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute, confirm on the 1 hour that price is going in that direction. When I've got the confirmations on that, then I'm going to go ahead and enter, and I'm probably going to get out right at this R1, not trying to go anything above that because I don't know. It might just come up here and pause and turn around and come back and do this, and then come way back down here and come way back up here. It could just do that, right? It's done it before. So you need to have a process of entry. When are your entries? Don't force it. Just wait. If there's no trade, then don't take it, right? So hopefully this video helped you out a little bit. If you'd like to dive more deep into this type of stuff, I can get you hooked into an awesome training course called 60-Day Trader Workshop. I can get you hooked into it. The tuition is very, very affordable. We can get you hooked up and you can go through from the very, very basics, learning about market structure and probably we didn't even talk about price action in this at all. This is strictly all just how do you enter and where would I enter based on this. We didn't even talk about price action or any of that kind of stuff. So hope this video helped you out a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free just to reach out.